Welcome to Knit with Daphne and the pattern for the knitted blanket Hills and Dales. Daphne, the designer of this pattern, is here to take you through the tutorial. The pattern is available for download. Instructions for how to get your download are given at the end of this video. Now, it's over to Daphne.
Welcome to my blanket pattern, Hills and Dales. I designed this small blanket pattern to use up leftover yarn. I used 8 colours. I was pleased with this combination of stitches and colours. I then wondered if the same combination of stitches would be successful if I only used 3 colours. Here is my larger version, 3 colours only, Hills and Dales blanket. I love it. I hope you do too. Because it is knitted in panels, it is not very bulky, so it's quite portable. That is, until the 3 needle join up. Now let's go to the construction. All panels start in exactly the same way, by increasing at the beginning of every row until you have either 45 or 46 stitches. So it was increased at that end, and you knit this way, increase at this end, knit that way. Now we change them into a right sloping panel and a left sloping panel. For the right sloping panel, I had 45 stitches. I will now increase one at the beginning of the row here, then decrease one when I'm coming back. For the left sloping panel, I'll decrease at the beginning of the right side row going this way, and increase on the wrong side row coming back this way. One difference between the increasing and decreasing for the right sloping panel and the left sloping panel is that in the left sloping one there is a knit 1 row after you've made 46 stitches. And there is our second colour completed, 8 rows of reverse stocking stitch. We're now going to add some yellow bobbles into this row. And to make a bobble, knit, purl into the next stitch. Turn your work, knit 4, turn, knit 2 together twice, pass the back stitch over, leaving 1 stitch. Slip this stitch to the left needle, and with the stocking stitch colour, knit the stitch. So I'll knit the stitch with my blue. I've just completed that bobble. Now I'm going to carry the yellow along on the wrong side of the work. I like to knit it in as I go like this. Nine, 10. Now the bobble. Knit, purl, knit, purl, all into 1 stitch. Turn the work around, knit those 4 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4. Turn, knit 2 together, do that twice, pass the back stitch over the front stitch, slip that stitch to the left needle, and then we're going to knit that with the stocking stitch colour, my blue. Okay, now let's firm up the bobble, and off we go again, knitting it in as we go. 1, 2, 9, 10. Then we're up to the next bobble. The bobbles need to be pulled through to the front. To finish this, we now do 5 more rows of stocking stitch. When you finish the row here, each row will end with either 5 or 6 in the main colour, depending on whether it's a right sloping panel or a left sloping panel. Here we are doing the ribbed garter. Knit 3, 1, 2, 3, knit 1 below, not the stitch on the needle, the stitch below, and that makes a double sized stitch there. To see a detailed demonstration of this stitch, go to our stitch library and you'll find it under number 35, ribbed garter. Normally the wrong side row is just always knit, but the very last row is knit 3, purl 1, and the purl 1 is on the top of the rib. By doing knit 3, purl 1 for the very last row, it makes sure that the rib goes right up to the end of the pattern. I'm about to start another band of ribbed garter. At the beginning of the row, it's a decrease. So I'll decrease 1, knit 1, then knit the one below, knit 3, and then repeat. For these right sloping panels, we increase at the beginning of right side rows. This means that you set the pattern up in row 3 for the ribbed garter stitch by increasing 1, knitting 2, then you begin the pattern knit below, knit 3, knit below, knit 3. Unlike the rows where you do the decrease at the beginning of the right side rows where it's decrease 1, knit 1, then begin the pattern. This one is increase 1, knit 2, then begin the pattern. The last stitch for this blanket is moss stitch. Moss stitch is just so easy. Knit 1, purl 1, knit 1. So coming along here, that stitch there presents as a knit stitch, so the one you would do on top of it would be a purl stitch. And that one there presents as a purl stitch, so on top of it you would do a knit stitch. So it'd be knit, purl, knit, purl, knit. So we start with garter stitch, move on to 2 bands of reverse stocking stitch. In between is stocking stitch with bobbles. Then comes ribbed garter stitch, and in here there's 2 little peepers of stocking stitch. In between, garter stitch. More ribbed garter stitch, and then the same as down here, reverse stocking stitch, and in between stocking stitch with bobbles. Then we get on to the moss stitch, and moss stitch is the last one we do. So now we go right back to the pattern here, and we go again on the reverse stocking stitch, and we repeat. I have worked from the row of asterisks right down here to the row of hash symbols. Now I will repeat from the row of asterisks to the row of hash symbols. Then I will repeat from the row of asterisks to the row of plus signs. So the last time from the row of asterisks and stop at the plus signs. This makes a rug of 160 centimetres by 135 centimetres. It has 8 panels. This smaller rug measures 133 centimetres by 90. It has 5 panels. For this smaller rug, I did the pattern twice. So starting at the asterisks, right down to the hash signs, and then right through again, just through the pattern twice. I have started on the 3 needle join up. I pick up the stitches with the crochet hook, then transfer them to a 6mm double-ended needle. I like to use marker pins just to ensure that I'm joining the like to like, so that yellow bit there will be joined exactly to the yellow bit on the next panel. There are 2 rows in that yellow bit, so I pick up 1 stitch. In this garter stitch bit, every second row, so it's every ditch. 1, 2, 6, 7, 7 because there are 14 rows in that garter stitch area, and 1 for the yellow. Now transfer them to your 6mm needle. There goes the marker. For a detailed showing of how to do the 3 needle join up, refer to our video on our website on the 3 needle join up method. For this join, I started at the cast on end. I'm coming right up the side, and I'll finish at the cast off edge. That's what my pin tells me, that's the cast off edge. Now, the next panel to which I'll join this one will come here, and I'll start at the cast off edge and then come down that next panel, always working with the right side facing you. To finish off your 3 needle join up, hold the 2 needles together, 1 from each panel, and knit 2 together, cast off, knit 2 together, cast off. I'm finishing off this blanket with a little bit of crochet. This is the second row of double crochet. I picked up the stitches in the same way as I did for the 3 needle join up, that is every second row. After completing 2 rows of double crochet in the blue, I then did 1 row of double crochet in gold. These clusters, or scallops, finish the rug off nicely. They are made from 5 trebles into the 1 space. Miss 1 space, 1 double crochet in the next space to tie the cluster down, miss 1 space, and then 5 trebles into the next space. Happy knitting, everyone.
Here are the steps to download Daphne's patterns and to view the videos on her YouTube channel. Send an email to knitwithdaphne@gmail.com and include the subject Free Download. There is no need for any content in the email. You will receive an automatic email reply that includes 2 links. One is a link to Daphne's YouTube channel. The other is a link to the downloadable patterns. When you click the link, the Knit with Daphne folder with all the downloadable patterns will open. Double-click on any line to open and download the pattern. Double-click on Stitch Patterns to open the folder with the individual knitting stitch patterns. Enjoy Daphne's designs and happy knitting!